All right, for this one right here, the hint they gave us is that the tangent of A is equal to 36 over 77. So if A is our reference angle, the opposite is 36 and the adjacent is 77. And that's because the tangent is our TOA, our opposite over adjacent, based on our reference angle. So we were given that information first, and you were supposed to then do Pythagorean to find this missing hypotenuse here. And after doing Pythagorean, you should have got that the hypotenuse was 85. And the hint in your answers with all these 85s is that it should have come out to that 85. So if we know the hypotenuse is 85 and they're asking us for the cosine, well, the cosine, our ka, is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And so cosine is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And so it should be the 77 over 85. And so that would be this answer here. How'd you do? Okay, next. Given this triangle, you have to find all three of the things that they're asking for. And so I guess let's just start with measure of angle M. And so the measure of angle M can be found right here by just doing triangle sum theorem. Like take 180, subtract this 90-degree angle, and subtract the 23.1. I'm grabbing my calculator right now. And so 180 minus 90 is just 90. 90 minus 23.1, I'm getting 66.9 degrees. And then they want you to find the length u, which is the hypotenuse right here. And they also want you to find this little m, which could be an adjacent leg to the 23.1. And so we're going to use trig for the other two things. So standing at angle D, I could get u by doing the sine of 23.1 is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. That's going to help me solve for the u, the hypotenuse. And then to get m, I could do the tangent of 23.1 is equal to opposite over adjacent. And because the variable is in the denominator, this is going to turn into a divide problem on your calculator. And so I'm pulling up Desmos.com. If you don't have one of the calculators at home with you and you're doing this from home, Desmos.com is a way to be able to get access to these functions from home just on your Chromebook. So 36 divided by the sine of 23.1 on my calculator. It's not working on my calculator. Let's see if I can remember the answer from class. One of them was 96.86 and one of them was 89.09. So it must be that M equaled 89.09, and it must mean that U equaled 96.86. Sorry, my phone calculator is not working while I'm trying to do this. So this would be from you typing into the calculator 38 divided by the sine, and this would be from you calculating 38 divided by the tan, gives you this, okay? So when it asks us to select all the answers that are true, check all that apply, you're going to say that this one's true, and this one's true, and this one's true. The only one that's not true basically is A. So that's called a multiple response question. Those are tough. Okay, this one's much easier. This one is just saying which equation could be used to find x. And so you've got sine, cosine, or tangent as your options. And we know that sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is the ka, adjacent over hypotenuse. And then there's our TOA. So let's go see. I've got reference angle. I've got an opposite, and I've got an adjacent. So it would be a tangent of 32 is equal to x over 10. And I go, look, in order to solve this, it should be typing in 10 times the tangent of 32. And so that's this guy right here. How'd you do? All right, this one is just asking you to fill in this one little blank right here. And so if I know that EO forms an angle bisector of DEF, that's this line cutting that big angle into two little angles. So what I'm trying to find right now is what can I call those two little pink angles? Well, since the E is in the middle, I need to choose an answer that has E in the middle. So I've got to say maybe angle DEO, that would be this angle here, and then FEO, or I'd have to say OED and OEF. But the point being that E has to be in the middle because that's where the angle actually is. So let's go see if any of our answers have that E in the middle. And oh, there it is right there. That's the step that's missing. For this proof on your toolkit, it's just a really good proof to write all the steps of to have a good sample now that you filled in this one blank. How'd you do? Did you guys get that right together in your tutorial groups? All right, on this next one, I'm going to show you how I taught you in class, and then I'm going to show you a kind of faster, simpler way to do it. So I taught you guys to move the 27 back to the other side, right? We always want these equal to 0 when we start. And then you guys go off to the side and do your B work. And 2 squared is 4. And so we add 4 and subtract 4. That gives us the x plus 2 squared perfects minus 31. And we add the 31 back to the other side. And there's our answer. You look for the one that has x plus 2 squared and 31. And our answer should be D. Well, what's the fast way of doing it with the 27 already over there? You just make space like so. And then you do your B work on the 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. When I add 4, when it's not on the same side, when it's on two separate sides of an equation, I literally add 4 to both sides. So on one side, I add and subtract. But on two different sides, I add it to both. And I've never shown that way just because it usually confuses students. If I try to show another possibility, you're like, don't give us more possibilities. I already know how to do it. So anyways, that is a possibility of just that really quick shortcut, just add 4 to both sides. But this is the steps and what we're used to seeing from class. Either way, it's D. How'd you do? Okay, next, find a solution to the equation. You probably did the full formula. All right, did you get -3 plus or minus square? By the way, -3 means it has to be one of these two answers. Before I even go further, do you see what I'm saying? You can eliminate those right off the bat because of the opposite in the front. And then it's 9. 16 times 8 is... Okay, how about I do this right? All right, it is 128, and then all over 8. So -3 plus or minus square root. I'm looking at my answers, and it's got to be -119, not the 21. And then we take out an I. My gosh, I keep writing the wrong numbers, guys. Sorry. So I look over here. I see my answer. There it is. But do you see how we already had a 50-50 chance just by knowing it's a -3? How'd you do? Oh, is that it already? That is it. I'm going to attach this key now. Oh, did I skip one? Boom, boom, boom. No, okay. It just felt shorter than what I thought I assigned. Okay, you guys, good luck preparing for tomorrow's test.